Welcome everybody to Game 2. Strange turn of events. There was no Game 1. They just decided to give a bye to Burning Core. Interesting decision. We'll see if it pays off.
It doesn't. That's not what happened. So, real talk. I think Game 1 was completely 100% individual and team-wide decision-making. Burning Core stayed together as a team. Like, they lost early game, they lost the mid game as a team. They lost every advantage as a team. They fucked up bottom lane because of a mutual agreement between like the jungler and the mid lane are just like, no, we're not gonna help bottom lane. The mid lane, they were just able to like farm it out. Top lane, it was just like, oh sure, we'll just like leave the top laners alone for the entire game, and that's fine, that's cool, it's whatever. And Seventh Heaven had like a lot more individuality, I want to say. That's what we'll call it. We'll call it individuality. They're just like,
I wonder if I can pay LS to just shit on the first game.
Probably? I don't know, dude. But like, he might not even do it. It's just like Japan's not actually a region. Alright, so Fiora gets banned out. Seventh Heaven recognized that that was like a contributing factor to their top laner just getting shit on. A lot of powerful junglers are banned out, but also LeBlanc and Zed are banned away from Hollis. Seems to be like that's a typical thing that people ban against Hollis.
Legato gets
fucking Christ! Legato is bad on Thresh! Like, he's not the bunny foo-foo god. This isn't like some sort of, what's that guy's name again? He doesn't like do the mad life stuff. He's just like the most basic Thresh that you see ever. Like, you see this Thresh show up in your games, it's just like, for fuck's sake, Thresh, could you just land one hook? We need to land.
Rather have Blitzcrank.
We need to. It doesn't even matter if he plays Blitzcrank. Like Blitzcrank only matters if you land hooks. Like, you see Thresh and it's just like, we only need you to land one hook to win lane. That's all we need. And then it never happens. Like 40 minutes down in the game, he finally gets a hook onto the Galio. It's just like, look guys, I did it! I'm going in! Like, that's what Legato is. Just, it triggers me. Alright, so we get to see Galio versus Renekton. Gonna be in favor of Renekton for most of the game. But this is still the patch where the Triple Doran start is gonna be fairly strong. But since it's Japan, we're probably gonna see the, what do you call it? Corruption Potion into Double Dorans. Get to see same bottom lane out of 7th Heaven. I think it's actually better for 7th Heaven to be picking Galio instead of Shen, because Shen and Galio do both fill the same purpose, mostly. Shen likes to sit in lane for prolonged periods of time and then join wherever in the map. Meanwhile, Galio like does have some lane control. He can like actually push the wave out then roam instead of just like pressing R somewhere. But if you don't have Fiora, then you just get like retarded Fiora and you get like Renekton or something. Oh, so it's been confirmed that like Varus's bow is actually a Darkin.
Yeah, actually, one of Ross's lines made me think there was some sort of connection.
Yeah, and it was also like in the Zaya and Rakan field journal that the field journal guy said that like the known Darkin in universe are actually just like creatures that were trapped inside of a weapon.
So then, yeah, Aatrox's sword is the Darkin.
Yes, but Aatrox overcame his wielder very long ago. So now, like the actual, like, so now he's like whole again. Know what I mean?
Right. So it's like a fucking nightmare thing.
Yeah, it's a nightmare deal from like Soul Calibur.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just like
so Rost's death. Aatrox is war, so Varus would be Pestilence then?
No, Vengeance.
He's got the blighted arrows?
It's Vengeance.
That's not. Oh, god damn it!
Yeah,
You
they
fucked it. You fucked it. You had a four horseman deal going on.
like it can still be like a pseudo four horsemen. I really dislike like actual 100% adaptation, like not just adaptations, just actual just rip-offs. I hate X being mythology into games like League of Legends where it's like supposed to be 100% original. Like if you're going to go all these lengths to like make your own cohesive universe, and they're just like, oh yeah, we got the four horsemen of the apocalypse, except they're not men, they're weapons. They don't ride horses, they're weapons. And they're not the apocalypse, because the apocalypse already happened, or is about to happen. And nothing actually happens, because the four horsemen of the apocalypse actually just get beat out by Volibear and Xerath, each of them, individually.
Anyway, we got Satori on Galio, Savage on Rengar, Brock on Orianna, Rikini on Caitlyn, Thinton on Zyra, up against Maze on Renekton, Asator on Gragas, Hollis on Talia, Xeros on Varus, and Legato on Thresh.
Cool, we got the matching skins in the bottom lane. Riot, please give me money. Still seeing pretty even in terms of map pressure. It's gonna be like so very slightly skewed in Seventh Heaven's favor, I think, for map pressure, but it's not really that impactful, I feel. Thank you.
Pause for laughter.
Pause for Alright, Satori and Savage are going to go and look for the invader under the chickens.
Okay, so they actually have almost replicated their combo from last game. Like, Galio can fill the same role that Shen does. You can still combo with the Rengar. The biggest change is going to be Orianna.
That actually fits in better with her composition, to be honest.
Yeah. That's the ironic part, I feel.
So now instead of the Shengar, we get the Oriengar. Get the Invisible combo. Gonna have Burning Core's jungler starting over onto their blue buff. Meanwhile, Rengar is going to start on blue buff as well. Pretty atypical start from both junglers. Usually they want to go and start onto their Raptor camp. But both of them just back off completely, so... Why do I have this out? Right. What the fuck is this leash? This is like worse than the leashes that LS gets in the jungle.
So identical bot lane on Seventh Heaven's side. I actually think I kind of like the Varus more than the Callista.
Yo, same. They're actually gonna be able to like push against the Caitlyn. Like I feel like Caitlyn and Varus are just like two different types of poke champions. Like, oh hey, I'm AD Varus. Oh hi, I'm AD Varus 2, but I have traps and girl. I have a top hat. Probably gonna see very passive lanes because they probably know that the junglers aren't going to be doing much. But it's there's a Rengar in the game, so top lane is going to be a scrap fest 24/7. Interesting here that Maze goes and gets deep wards into Seventh Heaven's jungle, but the problem is that that doesn't actually matter because Savage started on his topside jungle. Because he started on his topside jungle, that ward is actually completely meaningless, but that means that Astrorare knows that the jungler's not up here, so he can just come up here freely, and Satori is going to try and look for a fight here. Stun comes out, Taunt's going to be able to drop, he's not going to have the... Alright. He's not going to have the Courage of the Colossus. Proc off of his taunt, but he has to burn flash.
Astor is able to walk up for a free flash.
So even though that ward spots, like, wards will tell you where somebody is, but the most important thing is that wards will tell you where somebody is not. And because they know that both of these camps are gone, they know that Savage isn't going to be here.
That's deep, man.
Or not Savage, they know... it is
Wards
Savage.
will tell.
Oh god, it happens!
Landed!
This is the one that we needed! Legato has redeemed himself!
If I were Thinton, I'd be like, question mark, the shit out of myself.
You ping yourself?
Yeah.
I'm actually like excited whenever Legato actually lands a hook because he's like so fucking trash at Thresh sometimes.
Asatar looking mid.
Really?
That was...
What?
I guess the threat of the flash body slam.
But Hollis doesn't even have
Wasn't
Ignite. What? This is... Okay, this is what I needed to see out of Legato, like all those other times that he's played Thresh. Satori's able to spot out Asterer and...
Riot Games, our contact information is as follows.
YouTube.com/VagueMan. You can also catch me on Twitter. At AlexVagueMan. I also have a Facebook fan page that I set up myself. My mom comments. We're gonna see Savage maybe try and look for sitting in the top lane bush. Probably actually gonna be like the best possible thing. Gonna be very narrow margins. He can't actually do this. I think Maze is... Oh, Maze actually doesn't know anything here. Now he's going to get jumped in on. Taunt comes out so close! Flashes into the bush and is
into the bush for the lead. So good.
I liked it. I like how we both got hyped at the exact same thing and like basically Jinx! You owe me a soda.
That's okay.
Oh. Not Jinx the champion, I mean
So
Jinx
despite the early pressure that Astaro's been putting on, it's actually 7th Heaven that's able to get the first blood from the ganks. See how Astator is able to respond to this?
Forcing out Flash out of the top laner only really matters if you're able to abuse that in any way. Maze tried to look for that in his trade, but he was actually just getting hard baited by Savage. Oh my god, a rank 6 Rengar versus a rank 4 Gragas. This is
He's spot out though, nothing should happen here.
Looking for a
might
play in
be
the bottom lane.
Have I his bot?
Gato's posturing in the bush trying to get a hook somewhere.
Hollis is 6. And Maze does have teleport up, so
Right up.
possible we see a party bot lane.
Sitting on a ward, they're able to see him. Then again, like, it's kind of difficult to go and roam against an Orianna, especially when she can just waves fairly quickly. Savage is gonna go and look for aggressive here in the jungle, maybe go and spot out a little lonely Asteroer. Okay, maybe looking at a collapse here. Almost getting scissored, but they have to just concede the blue buff. Gonna go back and check everybody's CS. 20 CS in favor of the Renekton, and not much to be expected. Going to be looking for a taunt fight here. Dominus gets popped by Maze. Good combo. Now we see the 20 CS coming into play.
Yeah, Gato's actually gonna have to back off of that.
Completely.
Start up the dive. Clean Renekton mechanics.
I also like those weird changes that they put onto Renekton that just basically turned him into simpler Riven or something like that.
You mean the ones they reverted?
Yeah, the ones that they got rid of. I was like, alright guys, we're gonna go and
because
fix
all the Renekton mates hated them?
Yeah, it's like, alright guys, we're gonna go and fix up Renekton so that he can, like, the fucking buffering isn't, like, trash anymore. And just like, wait a second, right, you actually just made the buffering even worse. How the fuck? It's like, don't worry, we can fix this. We can fix this by making everything back the way it was. Alright, looking at the gold lead. Fairly even on the bottom side. Mid lane, also even. Oh, it's literally like the same CS in mid lane. Jungle is gonna be slightly in Savage's favor. Having first blood on your jungler is one of the best feelings in the world. Tori backs with a cloth hormer. Good shove out here by Brock to get a good back timer. Looking for a dive top lane. Hollis is positioning for it, hoping that he's not being spotted out by a ward and that Satori's not getting baited out here, but he's just sitting in the bush and they don't actually know. They see the ward here. Maybe gonna try and bait him out here. The only reason... Okay, so I don't actually really like Satori's pink ward there. Was that Satori's pink ward or was that Savage putting down a pink ward for him? Engage comes in. He uses the Justice Punch to go and engage him rather than running away. And they just back off of the dive completely in top lane. You only really want to go and put a pink ward into lane to prevent yourself... Oh, okay, good flash. To prevent yourself from getting ganked. If you are winning your lane. If you are not winning your lane, there is no point in putting a pink ward into the bush. Unless you're, like, afraid of getting dove. Because... And, like, even if you're afraid of getting dove, you might as well just put it into your tri-bush. Like, your ward is going to be a lot safer there. You're going to be able to see the dive coming from an angle where it's more likely to come from.
We do have a race for towers here.
Oh, we got the Rengar joining in here. Probably going to be Seed Burning 7th Heaven. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Galio even forces him off.
Yeah, this is just free for 7th Heaven then. If you're behind and you try to contest a pink ward, you will lose that. But Burning Core is going to be able to get the tower eventually anyways. But what this means by using their jungler to take down the top lane tower is just that 7th Heaven is going to be able to get this Mountain Dragon for free. Brock is trying to be a little bit careful of the topside Rengar. See what items come out by Burning Core. Okay, cool. Blade of the Druid. It's fine. Rosewater Cutlass and a recurve bow. Meanwhile, we get an Aether Wisp, an Amp Tome, and what is that? Boots. Phage and a Tiamat. Right. Whatever, dude. Pretty strange if you ask me. Don't really need a Tiamat if you're gonna be pushing in lane already, but... Oh no, he did it for the early game, I remember now. Now he's just going to go and build into Cleaver.
Tiamat's just super good on Renekton anyway.
Yeah, it is. 40 CS lead in the top lane. It's gonna be a problem here for Satori. I feel like he's like losing a lot harder than if he just played like Shen into Fiora.
Maze does seem to enjoy these carry top laners.
Enjoy. I don't know, dude. What is this? Wait, he's actually just killed himself.
Completely out of position here, though.
No, Hollis tried to go and engage onto Thitten, but with any regard of like the positioning of like where anybody else is, it's just like, oh, this guy's caught out.
This is gonna turn into a team fight, but numbers advantage is still
flashes out
on a 7th Heaven side.
Tori's gonna go and try and peel for auto tech's able to go and get down the Gragas, and now they might be looking for a dive here. They don't have the taunt or the shockwave. They're just relying on base damages here. No ultimates. Rakini is going to be a little mispositioned here. Guys, you're 80k. Hello? Hello?
Maze is forced to back off anyway.
Yeah, but like the tower's here though, and the minions though. Wait, but then they just proxy, and now he's just gonna die.
So that was actually...
It was messy AF though.
Yeah.
He should have just instantly taunted.
Now Hollis is back.
Yeah, it's 13 minutes. Death timers are fairly short.
This tower's not going down, but kind of a crazy fight there.
Fairly crazy. Lantern doesn't exactly land on top of Rakinia's pathing for him, so now he has to just like burn summoners to stay alive from the Renekton. That double dive is pretty good. Fucking Hollis just ints into the Rengar. It's just like, oh, look, the support's walking in through our jungle. I bet he's alone.
Yeah.
I don't think he can.
Completely overstepped from Hollis.
I don't think
led to a 4v5 in the top lane, and Maze did delete Finn almost instantly in that fight, but they were still down to damage threads.
Hollis just... What was that? I'm so sad. Alright, cool. Hollis just uses ultimate to try and catch out Thinton, thinking that he's alone, but then gets CC'd long enough. And the Rengar's there on top of the bush. He has to flash it in order to get that. Asteroid goes in, tries to belly flop. Whiffs the explosive cast. Orianna's ghosting in to try and get the shockwave, but gets flashed out by Legato. The Justice Superman move comes in. Rakinia's going to be able to go and pick up the Gragas fairly easily. Now this is just a fairly messy dive. They're able to go and... Okay, now we're just leaving. Yeah. Alright. Gonna be able to go and get... this thing called again. Everybody get this thing again.
Susan.
That's not it. Susan is AP Nasus. Like actual AP Nasus, not Classus. Ever tell you about that one time? Well, I've told you about it, but I haven't told anybody else about it. Oh, sorry.
So unfortunately, the advantage that Burning Core did try to push with Maze on Renekton doesn't seem to have resulted in much. He was fairly inefficient in that fight with all the peeling that that 7th Heaven does have.
I guess like the biggest impact that we're going to see out of here is just that Satori is level 8. Maze is level 11.
Yeah.
This is not a tanky Galio, guys. That's like gonna be like the biggest, like that's when he dies, there's gonna be like a tombstone there. It's just like, here lies Maze. He kept Satori from being tanky for like 20 minutes. Hook misses. And now 7th Heaven are gonna go and be pushing in mid lane. They've got
and unfortunately, BC doesn't have the advantage this time of the ticking time bomb that is the split pushing Fiora.
1, boom. Yeah, they don't have that anymore.
Like Renekton's only going to get less effective.
The only thing that like Renekton could do is like be really big and scary to Brock and Rakinia, but when you have a major CC source like Galio, it sort of makes diving the backlines kind of like not effective. Mostly because you're not really going to be attacking the backline, and like that's going to be like the only people that you can actually delete. But still, if that's really good for the Renekton, because like how Renekton plays out in teamfights is Renekton gets ahead in lane. He denies the enemy top laner from being tanky at most stages of the game. He's going to try and hope that his AD carry is stronger than their AD carry, in that Zerost is going to be able to burn Satori faster than Rakinia is going to be able to burn Maze, and it's just going to be like a race. It's just going to be like a team fight race. Whose diver is going to be killed first? Whose tank is going to die first? And what's good
Burning Core does have a fair amount of zone control to try and control team fights.
And yeah, and like even if Maze goes in and dives, they like 7th Heavens do still, or not 7th Heaven. Burning Core still has Astaroar to like peel for the team if needed. Meanwhile, Satori has to fall back completely and can't really.
Problem is that does require a fight to last long enough to pull off this strategy, and with the Galio, Rengar, Orianna combo, I don't see fights lasting all that long.
Probably. I'm not
Once an engage happens, once the engage happened, Burning
Oh,
Core could just get
TP!
defeated.
Where is it
He's actually
going?
TPing in.
Wall goes out and cuts off his own team!
Answered by Satori. Satori's way too low.
Hollis's walls are just trash. Savage
They
is looking...
tried to engage, but again, too much CC and Asator just gets burned down.
I'm...
Like, Asator, all you have is a ninja tabby. You are not a tank.
I mean, Galio's got that damage reduction, which is like fairly impactful, but he does like have very little HP to make use of it effectively. Like, as soon as his W duration burns out, he's about as squishy as, like, Zerost. I'm really displeased with the Talias that we've seen here. Like, 7th Heaven's Talia was more of a detriment than an assist. And now we see Burning Core picking up the Talia. It's just like he left the wall up for his team to have to like jump over his wall. Meanwhile, he could have just like dropped the wall himself, and he wasn't able to actually make it. Like, as soon as he missed the cut off with the Weaver's wall, they should have just called off the entire thing. Here we see level 12 Renekton versus level 10 Galio. Now have a completed cleaver coming out. Oh, this is the first time that we've actually seen like triple Doran's ring from Japan instead of like what do you call it? Instead of corruption potion, double Doran's. 7th Heaven may be tanky enough to threaten a Baron with the shields and the Galio. But Burning Core most likely is more tankier. To be able to get some wards around here, trying to get a little bit of control just in case something does blight out here. Blight out? What the fuck? Burning Core better win this. I don't say that for...
They're 4 kills down. Like, what do you want from them?
I don't care. I just want them to win this so that I can die.
I see.
1,199 critical damage. Damage being blasted onto Astroboard here.
I don't know. What moves do you want to see Burning Core make?
What?
To win this, what moves do you want to see them make?
Oh, I want to see fucking Astroboard not be a squishy piece of shit. Like, that would be cool. The only reason why you would go this build on Gragas is if you are lacking damage threats. And I feel like as a Gragas, you've got Renekton, Talia, and Varus. This seems like enough damage, don't you think? Like, you kind of just want to be tanky enough to go and bump uglies with the enemy damage threats, considering that they're like front loaded as well.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the Runic Echoes route with Gragas in general.
That's like a build you go when you don't trust your team.
That's a solo queue ass build.
I think we've seen more solo QE. Like, there was that time when Runic Echoes was actually just OP, but...
There was that time, yes.
That one time. Oh, cool, hi! What the fuck is this? That felt like so
out.
Messy. Oh god, he actually
Bola,
misses
doesn't matter.
Grab the lantern! I want to see a bug somewhere where the enemy is able to pick up Thresh's lantern. And I want to see him, like, as he is, like, mid-transit, the game gets, like, instantly paused. And so, like, freeze frame. So you're probably wondering how I got here. Savage has got stacks of Frosita. Gonna be tank fight in the bottom lane. Now we see 7th Heaven again coming out, looking like the more dominant team here, but things are just messy enough to make it not good.
Well, as we saw from last game, 7th Heaven having a lead doesn't mean they'll win.
Yeah, I know, and it makes me cry. Now what's going on here? Get to see some magic resist coming out of Aster Rare. 20 CS from being a full Flame Horizon from both of these top laners. Gonna be able to go and start up the dragon here. Doesn't look like Burning Core in any position. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Want to get the dragon?
Hey, remember that time Darshan just didn't want to get first tower? That was sad.
That was something.
I wanted to cry. Looks like Burning Core are a little bit on their back foot here. Waves are pushing out into their base. And 7th Heaven are looking for a catch, looking for a dive, looking for something to take a tower here. Ooh. Burning Core doing what they can to keep vision control of their own jungle. It's gonna get cut out here. That's just the support. That was just the support's damage. That was Fenton. He's got like when you add all of his items together, he's got like one proper AP item. And that just half chunks Aster Rare. Forces Aster Rare to recall. Weaver's Wall is going to come out. Going to be able to chop Satori off from his team. Legato is going to be able to hook him in, but that actually gets a double taunt. Actually feeds into his team's death. Holy shit, Legato. You're literally the worst Thresh I've ever seen.
Flashes in the bush. Ult comes out.
That's just going to be 7th Heaven dying.
Dead Lizard. They can take the inhibitor and then double back onto Baron if they're feeling good about it.
They'll be able to get the inhibitor for sure. And then they might... Yeah, that's good. Because they can't actually end the game right now. I think the proper play here is to go for the Baron instead of just trying to go and burn down one of the towers. Because while taking down one of the towers is threatening, diving double towers is actually a fairly harrowing process if you mismanage it. You don't have to just manage the aggro of one tower, you have to manage the aggro of 2 towers, which is actually pretty difficult. Let's go and look at it over here. Legato hooks in Satori, gets popped in by the Talia, and then
the ult just decimates
oh my
their team.
God, that triple man taunt into the shockwave was so big. Why? Why? In God's name, would you actually just pull the tank deeper into your team? At least we can say that it's not all Legato's fault. It's Burning Core. They're trash. Win as a team, lose as a team. Oh, I found my razor. Apparently it was just behind the, it was in the medicine cabinet, and I just forgot we had a medicine cabinet. But now that I found it, I can actually become a pretty boy again. Alright, so 7th Heaven are gonna go and try and get Baron control. Now that Satori actually has double tank items, he's going to be able to probably compete with Maze. Taunt damage reduction is going to be able to keep him alive. Only loses about 100 HP. It's difficult to tell how much health he loses because of the shield there. It eats up part of his health bar. Oh God, Maze is just actually losing this now. He doesn't really have the sustained damage or the penetration to be able to fight him.
Yeah, we're at 27 minutes. Renekton is 1, 2, and 0.
He's just under tower. Hey, look at that! Now he's actually able to chunk him down to, what is that, 2/3? A third. Chunk down a third of his health. But, hey look! Maze has now Flame Horizoned Satori, and he can't actually kill him. It requires This feels like it doesn't feel like he's playing Reactin. It's like he's playing some other champion that just wants to whittle down your opponent instead of diving and all-inning him. Taunt and CC is going to be able to keep him under tower for like 2 seconds. But this means that 7th Heaven is going to be able to start Baron here. Maze has TP. They are dealing a lot of damage. Get to see the TP. Rengar comes in. Get to see the ultimate from the Chain of Corruption. Gets blocked by Hollis. Double shockwave. Woo! That's some big dick damage. And now Maze is just in here trying to be the one-man carry. But that's 4 people. 2 damage items does not equal 2 tank items. And now this is just 7th Heaven going to be able to get the Baron here with Satori tanking it, right? Zerost is looking for like an opportunity, but he's just getting zoned away by Fitton's plants. He's got like 1.5 AP items. Like, this is a 0, 1, and 9 support. I'd also like to point out the 0, 2, and 1 Thresh! Literally the most useless Thresh in the world. Oh, cool, he peels him out. Oh, nice, we got the Chain of Corruption on to Savage, even though he's already out of the fight. Oh, nice, we got Hollis flashing over the wall, and then just getting eaten alive by the Shockwave. Oh, cool, we got the Weaver's Wall doing nothing to divide up the enemy team. Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Orianna doesn't need a ball delivery if the enemy team is just going to group up for you.
Hello, Burning Core, Hollis. Yes, make it look like a mistake. That's just what it feels like this entire game. The Galio misplay in the mid lane from Hollis to drag him into the team. The intentional feeding around the red buff. It's just like... Why? But why, Senpai? Ukini is going to be able to chip down this turret fairly easily. And I don't think Burning Core... Like, this game... Alright, God bless 7th Heaven for actually, like, playing their team fights a lot smarter than they did last time. They are actually, like, holding on to the trigger with a lot of discipline and not just firing wildly and hoping that Burning Core throw themselves into their bullets. Like, yeah, Burning Core are still going to int into them, but now they're not counting on Burning Core to just throw themselves into them. They're actually, like, doing smart plays. Tower's gonna be dropping soon. Thresh Hook misses completely. Satori's gonna be able to taunt out Asteroid, but no damage is gonna come through. Shockwave is able to land onto Legato and Zerost. Clean damage.
Yeah, I just want to point out that that Astor's Abyssal Scepter is the only magic resist on Burning Core, and Brock still chunks him down to half with a QW combo.
This is reworked Abyssal Scepter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... This is just bad! Like, you build Abyssal Scepter because you want your other team to do damage. You want your teammates to be doing damage if you build Abyssal Scepter. This is reworked Abyssal Scepter. If you build reworked Abyssal Scepter, you want other people to be doing damage. Who else is going to be doing damage? Fucking
That's why
Hollis?
You build it on Jax, right?
Yeah, that's why you build it on Jax. Because you just die the enemy team and hope that your team just, like, follows you in. But, like, who's going to be dealing damage here? Hollis? Hollis is 0-4 and he can, like, barely stay alive. He can, like, barely prevent his own team from dying. Like, and then
Hollis doesn't really... And, like, Talia isn't, like, a super chunky... like, burst people.
I mean, like, depending on how your performance is, it can be, but not this game. And then, like, Astrorare also has, like, some build dissonance. It's just like, I want other people to do damage, but I'm also going to be building, this item that just makes me do damage. Me big boy. Alright, Savage is going to be caught out here. Has to flash out. If he didn't, he definitely would have been caught out. Baron buff has run out. We get to see the Weaver's Wall chopping them in, but Astrorare can't actually get a belly flop attack here. Hollis is being chunked out.
2v1ing.
So close, but no, not really. Whoa! Explosive Cast is able to get Thinton under tower and deleted. This is Alright, so we're seeing relapses of 7th Heaven last game. They're sort of feeding a bit.
I am holding judgment until we see them get aced in the enemy's base.
Oh god, please no. Oh.
I miss DFM.
You miss DFM? I do miss DFM.
I miss Rascal Gestures. Those both had interesting games.
They did! They were both playing oh god, I forgot. It's like the 4th of fucking July here. Happy America Day, everybody. Wait, we get to see Maze going in. Fireworks are blasting off again! Ah! Brocky's gonna live. And now Maze is just going to run away. Nobody dies. I'm gonna go and like fix the filter settings here. Alright, so now I just have to like now should be hearing less fireworks. So now, what else needs to happen here for Burning Core to win? Alright, so 7th Heaven. How do 7th Heaven close out this game? They've got a really good advantage. They've got 4 dragons. They've got a mountain dragon. They can rotate around the map fairly quickly. They can stay in lane just a little bit longer than Burning Core, which will offset like how close they are to their own base. They've got mid lane. They've got bottom lane. They've got a pushing top laner. They've got Caitlyn. They've got really strong dive. They've got good team fighting. What needs to happen actually here? They need to be able
They have the lead and they have the late game scaling.
Yes! So what needs to happen?
There should be nothing preventing them from winning.
Maze here is dueling it out with the super minion. Alright, so Burning...
Like, okay, so maybe a really, really good Asator ult combined with poor positioning of 7th Heaven's backline, they might be able to take care of the damage threats. But they also have a Galio ulti to respond to that with their damage reduction. So...
What we need to see is, we do need to see either Legato land something. Haha! Haha! Hollis just uses the ultimate to try and keep the minions away from the tower or some shit like that. That's stupid. Still not gonna really matter that much. Ooh, tries to catch out Rakinia. Not actually able to do it. Now we're gonna have Galio walk in and Justice punch out. This is chip damage. We've got 2 groups of minions coming into the base.
Galio can tank this forever.
That's it. That's all of the towers dropped except for the one standing Nexus tower. Burning Core are going to try and look for an advantageous play. Legato somehow literally finds the one spot to not land that hook. Rakinia gets popped in. Explosive Cask is able to catch Satori into his team, but no one's able to follow out because he flashes out here. Super minions are on the base. Inhib comes up. Okay. Both of them come up. Jesus. And now 7th Heaven are going to go and peel onto the inhibitors. Should be fairly simple. Large wave in the top lane. Burning Core's going to try and zone them away from this last inhib. What is 7th Heaven doing? They might just decide to go and peel onto the Baron.
Looking for a flank, it looks like.
Nope, they're making the call to stay onto the tower. They've got the minions here. They've got the ball to zone them away. FaZe is looking for an engage here. Savage is just using ultimate to zone them away. Shockwave is only able to catch Legato. Hollis uses his combo to try and keep Peel. That's it. All the towers are gone now. Rakinia is just going to go and right-click the tower. Maze is trying to go and look for the hero play, but he's got only 400 HP left. He can't actually do anything, and that's it. Now we see 7th Heaven game. Woo. Woo.
So, the ending to game 1 that we should have had.
That's what we should have had. That's what should have happened.
They managed to not fuck it up this time. Still less than optimal play on the side of 7th Heaven. There were some hiccups there. And it does really feel like Burning Core stumbled into that first victory. We'll see how they respond in game 3.